Hello all, and let's talk a little bit about the collective. It was this weekend with Game Changer Wrestling. Watched two shows. I have to work Sunday, so Bloodsport will have to wait a little bit. But I did watch the two shows that I was planning on watching, which were For The Culture and Janela's Spring Break 4, happening in the fall, but better late than never. So, of course, this is part of the collective, which normally happens WrestleMania weekend, but of course WrestleMania weekend didn't really happen, so they waited, I think, until they really couldn't wait anymore, and then put on the show as best they could, or at least the shows as best they could. I'm sure this is not exactly the shows that they wanted to put on, but it was what it was. But yeah. So let's get started. So For The Culture, I was really curious about the show. I think the show would have been a different show if it would have been WrestleMania weekend, and I don't mean that just because of who was and would have been on here and whatever. I think just the feeling of the show would have been a little bit better. Not better, but would have been different. It was kind of weird to have this show and then have like all of these white people from Indiana like at the show. It was a little weird. I was afraid that's what was going to happen. It was just, and it wasn't like off-putting. It was just kind of like, if you watched, it was kind of like, just the show itself was excellent. The only real problem, and this is my biggest negative, and it's a big negative, is the house mic was absolutely shit. It was the same way on the Joey Janela show, was on Spring Break. So it's definitely a theme. I'm guessing it all night. Or all weekend. I couldn't understand a thing most of the night that anybody said that used the mic. I used to really bitch about Evolve when this happened. I'm gonna bitch about it here. You know, that's part of the show, especially when you have guys like giving promos and all of that, and you can't hear the ring announcer. It sucks. And yeah, so not good at all. I understand sometimes that can't be helped, but it is what it is. But wrestling-wise, the show was really, really good, a lot of fun. I would say the worst things on the show were still okay, and they were still a lot of fun and very entertaining. So yeah, I would recommend it. And if you were thinking about seeing the show, if this show piqued your interest at all, I would definitely recommend getting the replay on Fight TV, as this was definitely, I thought, a lot of fun. The opener, which seemed like it went a lot longer than it actually did, and keep in mind, I've never seen most of these people, which I think is kind of the point of the show. It's kind of sucky that you have to do a show like this, because to me, it's like the show needed to be done, yet it sucks that it had to be done, if that makes sense. Because this was a show, you know, primarily to show off, you know, black independent wrestlers, and that's what we got. And it, you know, I thought it came off really well. It showed off a lot of people. Maybe some of these people are better known to people who follow independent wrestling more than me, since I haven't followed it at all, probably in the last year. So there we go with that. But so first match we had Mike Outlaw, AC Mack, Mo Atlas, Timmy Retton, which I found really funny name because of, you know, just of my age, and Zay Washington. AC Mack came out. It was supposed to be a four-way. He came out, interjected himself in the match. This seemed to go a lot longer than it actually did. I guess this match only went maybe 6 minutes. It seemed like it went a lot longer than that. This match was great. It was a super fun opener. I really liked it. It was really good. And yeah, this is definitely what you want an opener to be. It seemed like it went a lot longer, and not in a bad way. It was like, wow, that only went this long, because they got a lot of stuff in. So that was really cool. Then we had JTG taking on Trey Miguel from the Rascals. This was good. I know a lot of people really like this match. I thought it was good. Thought it was not horrible, and not great. I just thought it was just good. I mean, it was nothing bad about it. I thought they meshed well, but at the same time, it just, I don't know, there was just something about it that just came off not as well as I would have liked it. Let me put it that way. But it was still good, still a really good match. Some good high flying, JTG doing some nice power stuff. So it was what it was. Then we had a three-way tag with PB Smooth and Trey Lamar taking on Christian Casanova and Tasha Steelz, and then Airwolf and Angel Dorado. I'm not sure why Tasha Steelz was in here, other than she had some really cool spots, but and it made the match fun. I won't lie with that. I mean, it was, you know, I'm not the biggest like intergender fan. When it's done, I shouldn't even say when it makes sense. When it's done and it's done well, it works really well. But when it's not, it comes off like really either cheesy or really just cringeworthy. One of the two. So yeah, but there was she had some really good spots. This was a lot of fun. This was really good. Basically you had 6 people in there all doing their thing. So that was really good. Then you had another intergender match. Get the name of this title because let's see, Trish Adora, who's the Pan-African World Disapperia, I'm not pronouncing that, wrestling title, defending against Search D. Again, intergender stuff. I know some people really like this match. It was okay. It was okay. Then we had Calvin Tankman taking on O'Shea Edwards. This was literally just 2 horses just going out there and doing their thing. This was good. There were parts of it that it just didn't come off as well as I would have hoped with 2 big guys, but it was still good. It was definitely worth it. If you like 2 big guys, this is the match for you without question. Then we had Willow Nightingale, Devon Monroe, Faye Jackson, and Marti Belle. This was pretty good. Again, you had kind of intergender. It was fun. This was a very fun match, without question. And definitely, if you watch the show, you'll have fun watching it. It's definitely not a oh my god match. It was a lot of fun. Again, then you had like the meat of the show, I would say. The next 3 matches: AJ Gray versus Dezmond. Xavier was great. Just great. Lee Moriarty versus ACH was also great. I know some people absolutely were like in love with this match. I didn't think it was that great, but it was still great. And then you had AR Fox versus Cold Scorpio. Cold Scorpio doing like just absolutely going out there and being absolutely crazy, which was awesome to see. This was really good, and just so much fun to watch. So yeah, this was an absolutely fun show, and hopefully it did really well. Hopefully it was on at midnight, so but maybe I know there was a lot of people talked up this show after seeing it, so hopefully people got the replays. But I would definitely recommend seeing this. Just go in realizing that the house mic is absolutely shit, and you're not going to understand a thing anybody says. Just saying. That's my biggest gripe. Then we had Spring Break 4. We started with Rickey Page coming out with who is the Game Changer champion, an open challenge match. This was definitely more of like a game changer, like a lot of angle stuff going on here, and I don't watch it enough to know any of that. The announcers did do a really good job of trying to explain kind of like what the angle was. They had 2 other guys. They had 2 people come out, and he had his goons basically beat them up. And then Orange Cassidy came out. So we had Orange Cassidy versus Rickey Page. And Orange Cassidy did more of his like comedic stuff that he hasn't done as much of on Dynamite or in AW as of late. Hopefully he kind of goes back with that because I like it better. But this was okay. I wasn't in love with it. I loved the Orange Cassidy stuff, but that was about all I loved. So there was that. Then we had Iron Beast taking on the Rascals. This was good. Went probably too long, as did pretty much everything on the show. Not only did you have the mic issue on the show, but the show was so long. Some of these matches went way too long. This one, I would say, went long, but not nearly as long as some other matches, and we'll get into that. Then we had Jonathan Gresham versus Lee Moriarty. This was great. This you should go out there and see if you really, really like mat wrestling, and you like if you like kind of old school Bryan Danielson matches. This is the thing. I would definitely go out of your way to watch that match. It was really good. Then we had but basically we had Chris Dickinson, Ortiz, and Santana taking on Alex Zane, Blake Christensen, and Jordan Oliver. This match went way too long, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure this match went just shy of 20 minutes, or somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. This needed to go 10 minutes tops. This thing dragged. I was not a fan of this. I thought I did not enjoy this, and it was just because it went way too long. I got bored, and I was just like, oh my God, can this just end already? Because yeah, the story they were telling just was kind of like, you had three dudes who, I'm not saying should have walked through the other three dudes, but the match didn't need to be this long. This was like way too long of a match for this. So yeah, was not a fan of this match. Then we had a match I was looking forward to, Tony Deppen versus Alex Shelley. I was hoping this would be better than it was. This was just kind of okay, in my opinion. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know. Just something with this match did not click with me. I'm not sure what it was, but it just didn't work. Then we had Leo Rush versus ACH. This was great, as you would probably expect. So I would definitely match you definitely should check out. Then we had Ricky Morton versus Joey Janela. I was really looking forward to this match. This did not disappoint. Ricky Morton is a crazy man, given his age and everything he did in this match, and Joey Janela gave him everything. When people kind of complain and wonder why people think highly of Joey Janela, I would watch a match like this where he is able to make a guy like Ricky Morton look like $1 million. I mean, this was really, really, really good. Then we had our clusterfuck that we have every year. I'm never a huge fan of this normally because of the announcing. Not because of necessarily what goes on in the ring, but because of the announcing. The announcing was much better this year. They explained so much more of what was going on with everybody in the ring. The match itself was shit. I absolutely got bored out of my mind watching this. People would come in, they would just sit on the outside. There was action, but it wasn't that great of action. Even the action that was in the ring seemed to like people didn't know what was really going on. It was not very good. This was definitely the worst of all of these. I understand what this is supposed to be, but it needs a little bit more structure, and it doesn't need to be 1,000 people. It felt like there was just 1,000 people, and people just showing up. And I mean, like I said, the announcing was much better. They did a much better job of explaining who everybody was, which is usually my issue with this match. But they did a better job this year. But the match itself was just, I just was like, oh my God, I'm just not a fan of no. And that was a large portion. I mean, this is a 4.5 hour show, so yeah, and there's not that many matches. Then we had Alex Colon versus Matt Tremont, and Matt Tremont's the last Game Changer match, I'm guessing. That's what they said, at least. This was a death match. I'm a person who hates death matches, but this just didn't click with me pretty much at all. It was pretty good, but it was just a death match to be there was just there was nothing that was like, I don't want to say nothing that was memorable. I would say the last sequence was really good, but nothing that was just like outstanding in it. So there was this. So yeah. So I definitely would say check out For The Culture. I think the problem with one of the big problems with Spring Break was that you had a crowd, and the crowd was somewhat lively, but you definitely needed that WrestleMania crowd at this show. Just kind of just make it even more fun. And you probably needed like the fact that it's WrestleMania weekend and everybody's in town, so you probably could have a little bit better show. But the wrestling was good. But like I said, the mic issues just like really hurt both shows for me. So with that going in, so like I said, I will do a review of Bloodsport at some point. Maybe put it up Monday. We will see. We'll see. And then yeah, and then hopefully I'm going to try to do one big giant New Japan video. That's kind of what I'm thinking about doing, is like doing like a G1 catch up, and then doing kind of my thoughts up to probably catching up to New Japan Strong. So there we go. So with that, I'm out. Let's have a good one. Later.